So Netflix live action version of One Piece is out. It's been out for about 2 to 3 weeks now. Honestly, I have not watched it yet. I may get around to it a little later on. So I'm coming in here letting you know of the bat. I haven't watched it yet at the time of this making this video. I haven't watched it yet. Reason being, I am kind of, there's not much good stuff to watch, so I'm pacing myself watching things right now. I'm watching Baki the Grappler with Baki and his father fighting. I'm watching that. I'm going one episode a day, kind of to thing with that. But then I've come to realize that by the time I'm finished with that, I will finish right in time when the new Castlevania anime comes out, so I'm probably gonna watch that and then I may get around to One Piece. But I'm just saying I haven't watched One Piece yet. I've been hearing it's really good. Um, you know, I am more of a fan of the anime, I will admit that, but I don't have a problem giving a live action a fresh look, an objective look. Once it's good, I don't have a problem with that. And they've apparently made a lot of they brought in the original they should the original. They brought in the creator and he's doing a lot of work. There was a lot of talk early on about how it wasn't very good, and now he's in there and doing stuff. So it apparently has been better because I do know that they went back for some reshoots for it and stuff. So it seems to me that it's much better now. So I will get around to it. Just haven't as of yet. However, there are a few things I want to cover in regards to it. But first off, let's look at the Rotten Tomatoes score for One Piece. Right, season 1, the audience score is 95%. The critics have it at 86%. You always expect the critics to be lower. That's just it, because they for some reason gave Ahsoka a high rating, and that show is garbage. But yeah, it seems to me that a lot of people really do like it. There are 8 episodes of it, so it seems to be quite a good show. It's already been renewed for season 2 by Netflix because of how popular it is. I think it's at number 1. It was at number 1 for like 2 or 3 weeks. I think it still is number 1 on Netflix streaming charts. A lot of people seem to really enjoy it. And as this article from the Hollywood Reporter here says, just 2 weeks after its premiere, Netflix has decided to renew the Fantastical Adventure series. Yeah, so 2 weeks in, they've already renewed it for a second season. So we getting some stuff from that there. Let's see where we have a little bit of it here. One Piece follows Monkey D. Luffy on a legendary high seas adventure. After finally deciding to follow his dreams of freedom, he assembles a crew, finds a ship to sail, and sets out on a treasure hunt to become king of the pirates. But along the way, he and his crew must face the harsh sea and dangerous rivals. Yeah, so, and One Piece, the manga, is well over 1,000 chapters now, so it's I haven't watched all the anime episodes or read all the manga because that's a commitment to do all of that. But it apparently the live action version of it has broken this live action curse a little bit, because again, as I say, the creator Eiichiro Oda came in and he insisted that they stick to the source material as much as possible, not do anything to try and disrupt it. But that doesn't mean that they didn't sneak in little things here and there, or that there aren't people out there in the shill media environment say that we should change this to fit this, because that's really all they live for. So I want to touch on 2 things. One in regards to what shill media is trying to do, and one in regards to what happened in the live action that not a lot of people are talking about, and I will explain why a lot of people are not talking about it. So first off, let's get into what shill media almost demands from this One Piece live action. Is One Piece Monkey D. Luffy gay or asexual? Because God forbid somebody just be a cool leading character in a series. No. No, they can't be happy with that. They need to be something or another to please these sick-minded individuals who apparently think that, a person's sexuality is the only thing that should ever define them. All right, let me get to the part about it. Okay, let's read a bit of what they have here. With more than 1,000 episodes that stretch over 2 decades, One Piece isn't just one of the longest-running anime adaptations of all time, it's also one of the most popular. But with the arrival of Netflix's live-action version comes a whole new wave of interest in Monkey D. Luffy and his desire to become king of the pirates. That's true. Okay. There. So, okay, let me just see if I can get to this part where they would. Right. This quest takes center stage, which means romantic entanglements are few and far between in both the original One Piece series and the new show. Who has time for some action when the Four Blues give our Straw Hat Fate all the action they could ever hope for? Even so, romance does creep into the story on occasion, except when it comes to Luffy. Since Eiichiro Oda first started writing One Piece for Weekly Shonen Jump back in July 1997, Straw Hat has been mostly indifferent when it comes to love or romance of any kind. That's pretty rare for any lead character, especially across a story that's lasted for as long as this one has. Okay, now let me just stop there for a moment and say something. It's not to say that he doesn't have romantic feeling kind of thing like that. It's just that it's not what he's focused on. This is true with a lot of shonen protagonists. They don't really tend to focus too heavily on that. Some of them do, but it tends to come across like they don't really understand it to the point. But it's usually played as more of a gag than anything else. That being the case, Hancock has the ability to enchant any man that lays eyes on her. The reason that doesn't necessarily work with Luffy is because he's pure of heart. That's actually been established in the manga. He's pure of heart, and he has a focus on being king and the pirates and stuff. It's not to say that he doesn't like or love his comrades or anything like that. Just that he's not focused heavily on romance. And this is just kind of par for the course when it comes to certain manga like that. There's nothing against it, but again, like I keep saying, they don't want to ever stop with these things. They need some kind of justification for any and everything moving forward. The article goes on. So what gives? A bunch of queer and gender fluid characters have popped up over the years, and they had to, including Yamato, which is not true. Yamato isn't, what, I'm going to go through that. And a couple others that they mention here. Yet Luffy's own sexual identity remains surprisingly vague, both in the anime and Netflix's new take on this story as well. It's time to cosplay Detective Sherlock Holmes himself then, as we take a closer look at all the evidence and attempt to solve One Piece's biggest mystery of all. And I'm guessing it's not where to find One Piece at all. Is Luffy gay? Oh yeah. Over the years, Luffy's youthful exuberance and lack of interest in women have led some fans to suspect that the future pirate king might actually be gay. Nobody has ever suspected that. But this is what they're trying to push. They're trying to say that, listen, because we say this, and because 10 weirdos on Twitter with nothing better to do, who suddenly learned about One Piece last week, decide to make all these ridiculous claims, because that's where they have the majority of their power, on Twitter. Understand me? They're trying to push like it's something that they go on. Not necessarily a full homosexual, but perhaps a 4 on the Kinsey scale at the very least. I don't know. They continue on here with a bunch of other nonsense. Still, a casual glance online will reveal that there are more message boards debating Luffy's identity online than there are pirates in his crew. Having a bunch of bot accounts doesn't mean it's true. And among all these endless debates, one scene in particular from the original anime has been brought up time and time again to argue that Luffy can't be straight. And this is the nonsense that they actually talk about when I mentioned earlier. Listen to this. We are, of course, referring to the moment in chapter 5:18 titled The Arena, where Boa Hancock uses the power of her love fruit. With this particular gift, the pirate empress can turn anyone into stone as long as they lust after her. It also helps that her beauty and charm are off the charts, which means pretty much anyone who encounters Hancock ends up hard in the worst possible way. That is, except for Luffy. Yep, our boy is surprisingly immune to the effects of the love fruit, which means that he doesn't feel even a hint of lust or attraction to Hancock. That's not to say Luffy is automatically gay or queer, though. In the story, later reveal that Luffy is immune because he has a pure heart. So why bring up the gay or queer thing then? Because it's literally, like I said, literally he has a pure heart. That's why he's immune. But no. Which basically means that there's no ill intent on his part, and objectifying women falls into that. So yeah, all this nonsense that they're trying to put in, they also go, is Luffy asexual? I mean, when I'm going through the rest of reading this nonsense, I just say, this article is basically trying to say that, you know what? In the live action One Piece, what they should have done was just had a whole bunch of romance with Luffy hugging up Zoro and all kind of madness and stuff, even though the creator, Eiichiro Oda, came out and said quite clearly that, he does not want any kind of romantic thing in this at all. That is not what it's about. Well, especially not amongst the crew. They're a family. They do what they have to do. Okay. But no, you want this because this is somehow the only thing that gives your whacked out brain any kind of reference, because that's all you see everywhere. That's it. So this is the one I want to talk about here in regards to this, where this article from Digital Spy is trying to talk about, is Luffy gay or is Luffy asexual? No, Luffy is Luffy. Get over it, shut up, and let's watch it and enjoy it. That's it. Well, that being said, that doesn't mean that, as I said in regards to it, and there wasn't something slipped into the live action series, that is controversial, and not a lot of people are talking about it. And I'll explain why. Right, this one from this article from Bounding Into Comics. Netflix's One Piece encourages transgender ideology by having Morgana Davies play Kobe. Okay, so this is Kobe here. Now, in the manga and the anime, when Kobe was younger, he was kind of a beta male cop. He wasn't really tough. As he got older, he became kind of a badass. But when he was younger, he wasn't thing. But in the live action, they have a woman pretending to be him even though he's male. You understand? Let me read a bit of it and I'll explain. Netflix One Piece, which has dominated the streaming services viewing charts for the past 2 weeks, encourages transgender ideology by casting Morgana Davies, a young woman who now claims to be a man, to play Kobe. Yeah, well, if you want to get work in Hollywood, and you ain't know somebody, you ain't family to somebody, you ain't up and somebody, you understand me? Decide to go out and call yourself transgender or gender fluid or non-binary or all this made up crap. And you're going to see how quick they go hire you. Right, having watched 7 of the 8 episodes, the series itself, though its storyline does not actually push this transgender ideology. Ironically, there's a scene that makes it very clear that men and women are different. In a flashback sequence, and I did see this in the anime, so I know what's going on, but okay. Shimotsuki Kuina tells Zoro, "You'll surpass me in size, strength, and speed. Eventually, you'll surpass me in everything." When Zoro informs her that's dumb, she retorts, "No, that's nature. I'm small now and fast, but soon all the boys will get taller and stronger. Their arms will be longer than mine." Now, in regards to this, and I can speak from the anime, having watched it, right? Zoro went to a dojo to learn sword fighting, and the master's daughter kept beating him all the time. No matter what he did, she kept beating him. She kept defeating him, and he was damn vexed about it. But then she told him, eventually you are going to surpass me, because basically due to genetics, men are physically stronger than women.
yes, you can be fast. Yes, as a woman, you can be fast. You can have skill. You can have all of that. But in regards to strength, you're going to lose. If you do have a battle of strength, you're going to lose. So that's what he was. That's what it is. She was making it clear up. Zoro then questions who cares about that kind of stuff. Kuna responds, don't you get it? Girls can beat boys, but no woman can beat a man. While Kuna makes it clear there are distinct physical differences between men and women, Zoro encourages her to make a vow with him that they will continue to push each other until one of them is the greatest swordsman. While the show seemingly acknowledges the difference between men and women, it doesn't necessarily rebuke transgender ideology, which claims that women can become men and vice versa, as its ideology that Netflix and the show's production company Tomorrow Studios embraced with the casting of Davies as Kobe. Back in 2021, Davies spoke with Vogue, revealing she informed her parents that she thought she was a boy at the age of 13. She told out that 13 I came out as trans just to mom and Catherine, Justin agent and friend and now a close friend. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of that. Let me just give my take on it. Yeah? Now, as I said, a lot of people are not talking about it in regards, people bring it up and all this stuff. And so, because I think mostly a lot of people either didn't really notice it because, like I said, Kobe in the anime and the manga is kind of supposed to be kind of a beta male kind of couple. So most people didn't notice it. 1. 2, most people don't really care because they're like, the rest of the show is okay and good, so not really going to dwell on that too much. And 3, I think it had to be done because, as I've said before more than once, when it comes, there's policy in Hollywood now that you have to do this. You literally have to do this. You have to cast certain people in certain roles, whether you like it or not. You have to cast them there, or else you will not get any, or else your show could get shut down. You won't get any awards, all kind of drama. So yes, One Piece is doing really damn good. It has been renewed for a second season already. Yes, there are some wackos out there trying to push me, is Luffy gay or is Luffy asexual nonsense. But again, like I say, One Piece apparently is doing really good. I'll give it a watch and when I get a chance, and I will see how good it actually turns out to be. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, try to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.